Hey, what's up, guys? So I thought about something today as I was doing I forgot I had on my Shakeology shirt. So actually this is like a sweater or whatever. So one thing I want to tell people, we focus so much on, like, for instance, if you're a runner, you're focusing on your running and how fast you can run, whether you're trying to do the 2 minute, not 2 minute, whether you're trying to do the 2 hour half marathon, or some great people can actually do a little bit more than 2 hours worth of a full marathon. Worrying for your 5K. If you're a weightlifter, you're looking for how much you can lift. And there's some people, who just concerned about the generalized fitness. They just want to work on their abs. One thing I want to talk about is mobility, mobility, mobility. No matter what you do, you have to do one of these things. I'm fine a yoga program you're into or any other mobility type program that's online or an instructor, anything that involves like flexibility and relieving and recovering your body. I honestly believe that's the most important thing. The reason mobility type exercises and programs are important for two reasons. One, well, actually a couple of reasons, but as I'm thinking in my mind, one, in order for you to do certain exercises and in a workout program, you need to get into the right position. If you don't get into the right position, whenever you do a workout, any type of exercise, one or two things happen. You either injure yourself or you want to get the full benefit of that exercise. For instance, if you do the squat the wrong way, you could mess up your knees. So you got to work on the mobility in your hamstrings and your glutes and your quads to get yourself, and also in your Achilles to make sure that you're squatting below parallel, and to make sure your Achilles are flexible enough for you to keep your heels to the floor, and make sure your heel doesn't go before your toe. That's a perfect example. If you're not mobile enough, if you're not doing the appropriate stretches so you could do the squat the most appropriate way possible, you will hurt yourself. You'll say, man, I'm having problems with my knees. I can't squat. And then you go around telling everybody squats messed up my knees. Squats did not mess up your knees. The fact you did not get into a perfect position for mobility to get into that good squat messed up your knees. Actually, to be totally honest, and I've seen studies and papers and listened to podcasts about this, squat is one of the best ways that can help your knees when you do it the right way. One thing that I've noticed, when I do the squat the wrong way, my knees give me problems. When I spend weeks and weeks and weeks and months doing squats the right way, my knees feel great because I'm strengthening the ligaments and tendons and musculars that support the knees. And I don't want this to be about squats, but that's a perfect example about, what happens when you don't mobilize. You can't get into the right position. And like I said, you end up either hurting yourself or you're not working the correct muscles. Okay, when you don't get into when you don't mobilize in the certain positions. Also, it helps out with recovery. A lot of things that I do is I do a lot of squats, I do a lot of deadlifts, I do a lot of heavy lifting. So a lot of times I mobilize so I can um, decompress my lower lumbar spine, my thoracic spine, and that helps out with my recovery. Because if you think about it, if you're doing a lot of workouts with dumbbells and barbells, and every single day you're compressing, 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 this happens over a period of years, of course you're going to get lower back problems. Of course you're going to pinch your nerves. So that's what I say. If you spend all that time compressing your lower lumbar spine, you need to get into some yoga. You need to do like an immersion table. Do whatever you can to help your body recover. So that's another reason you need to mobilize, to get into the correct position, prevent injury, and also to give your body a break from that wear and tear on your muscles. So, and also to break up some of that scar tissue so you have increased flow to your muscles. So therefore, as you eat throughout the day, guess what? You're bringing oxygen and nutrients to your muscles to help them grow and recover, to go from that broken down damage stage that you get from your exercise, to go to that adaptation stage, to go to that strengthening stage where you actually become better than what they were before. So mobilization helps out greatly. Plus, it helps me sleep better, so I'm not in pain. I'm in less pain when I wake up in the morning. And like I said, mobilization is key. It also helps me have less pain in different parts of my body because I'm able to just walk it around in the world. For instance, if I'm mobilizing my shoulders and make sure I'm not like hunched over, guess what? I don't have too much pain in my lower back because as I'm hunched over, I'm getting strained to my lower back. My hip flexors are tight. So I'm wondering why I have lower back issues because my back is tight the whole time. My lower lumbar is not supposed to be tight, supporting myself, keeping me from falling forward because I have lack of mobility in my hip flexors and in my shoulders. But if I mobilize my shoulders so I'm able to walk around in the world with my shoulders upright and also my hip flexors aren't too tight, guess what? I'm not putting any strain on my lower back. My lower back is just lightly supporting me because gravity in the vertical plane should be supporting my lower back. So mobility is extremely, 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 extremely important for those multiple reasons. So I tell people, no matter what type of exercise you choose, some people, yes, I want to do Zumba, or I want to be a runner, or I want to be a weightlifter. No matter what exercise program you choose, all of those programs, you should work on mobility, 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 in the form of whether it's yoga or other mobility-based programs, Pilates. It really does help, and I've noticed a big difference. And some of my lifts, I notice a big difference in how I feel after my workouts and how I sleep. Because when I go to sleep in pain, it feels so good to go to sleep nice and loose and relaxed and everything, and walk around in the world nice and loose, and it feels better when I actually prevent myself from injury just in the general world. If I slip on the ice, I can move my arm in certain areas to catch myself, or move my leg. If you're not mobile, guess what? You can't even move your leg in the right plane to catch yourself. Then you fall and hurt yourself. So mobility is extremely important, because I tell people, yes, I do compete in CrossFit. I do the Beachbody programs, but my end goal is to have a higher quality of life for as long as I can, which is why I'm greedy with life. That's why I tell people I do work on my strength. I work on my cardiovascular endurance, my muscle flexibility. I'm not saying I'm like all these yoga people who could put my leg behind my back, but I'm a lot more flexible than I was a number of years ago. So mobility, mobility, mobility is the most important thing. One of the most important things you could work on. So don't just work on the specific aspects of your sport. I got some mobility. So that's why, like I said, with Beachbody, I still do some of the mobility DVDs. All right. Peace out. Mobility.